You gotta post the posts. We got our satisfying music going on in the background, and what's going on? Priscilla and Spicy P. They put on the music until we start talking, so when we're sitting here awkwardly silently, there's something going on.
Just chilling. I'm fucking keeping my eye on the Coinbase blockchain. Huge. It's literally, it launched and it literally has been one rug pull after the other. Like every token that launched at launch of that chain has rug pulled at this point. It's kind of a fucking blast. I've been having a lot of fun riding rugs.
Does it sound like the Wii music? The Wii music I know is the Wii Sports one. The Wii Sports
feel
like
like
games too.
The Wii music, like the music in the just like lobby, is pretty fucking banging too.
I feel like it sounds messed up right now. I don't know if that's happening for everybody. I heard Mars game just got on. Colonize Mars you're probably talking about? Yeah, I don't play that one. Nor did I play Million on Mars.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know that the Coinbase chain is not live for like public access. You have to use like the developer bridge to move into it. It's not really about the rug pulls. It's literally just developers being rug pulled by each other. Like the average user shouldn't be able to get into that chain just yet. You have to jump through hoops to get your money over there. But there's an exchange launching literally as we speak, and I'm about to like ape into these farms. I moved like $400 over to test it. Of course, with a clean wallet, we all have good OPSEC practices here. But yeah.
I'm not sure Coinbase needs their own chain, to be honest, but
I'm fucking stoked about it. It's built on the Optimism stack, so it's basically an Optimism rollup. So it's nothing like groundbreaking. Like Optimism's been running for years. But
I think you might need to restart your computer. Your audio is like clipping constantly, but it's like a digital clip. It's not because you're too loud, I don't think. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but if you're about to talk for like an hour about tech stuff, it's probably better to fix it now.
Weird. I started out with a restart, but yeah, okay, I'll do that right now.
I don't know what's going on with that. Have fun at baseball. Weird. Is it just for me? Sounds like robot voice for me. Maybe my computer's fucked up. I don't. What's Pixar? Oh, pizza probably. I was like, is Pixar a new NFT thing? But I'm assuming that's supposed to be pizza. Should I make myself giant? Oh no, I'm so big. What am I doing on the web? I'm looking at rival stuff. I just unlocked this new NFT today. Linebacker for the Bears. I don't know if he's any good in real life, but playing that foosball. There's a new event popping up for a legendary that I might actually qualify for. For the last, several months, only the top 100 people qualify for legendaries unless you spend, literally probably at least $1,000 to a couple $1,000 you can't get in the top 100. But they just expanded the rewards from 100 to 180. So I now have a chance again to unlock a legendary. So that's exciting for me. I also found this spreadsheet that has all the base card powers and what cards are being released this set. The one that's being released right now is CJ Gardner Johnson. That guy's got a lot of names. He's CJGJ. It's kind of cool, but fun stuff. And only the top 80 people actually get a player, and 81 through 180 get a blueprint, which is like this thing. And these blueprints you have to combine with the non-NFT cards to upgrade into NFTs. Adding molasses to my rye bread. Going for the dark pumpernickel we posted. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is something I'm down to talk about. Rye bread. I can't even spell rye. I've always seen rye bread as darker like this, but I in the KY posted a picture, and his was very much not shopping images. His was kind of whiter like this, I guess. Like this color. And then I went down the rabbit hole of being like, why does some look like this and some looks like that? I also like the marbled ones. I feel like when I went to get a Reuben sandwich at a deli, it was marbled like this. That's pretty much my only experience with rye bread is Reubens. But let us know in the chat. When you think of rye bread, do you think of the lighter variation or do you think of the darker variation? And then he was saying, it was oh, that looks like pumpernickel. And then when I Googled it, pumpernickel is rye bread. It's a variation. There's a secret dessert place next door to where I live with a Michelin star chef, debating if I go over and spend, I don't know, a Michelin star chef. That should be good. But what is a secret dessert place? How is it secret? They're just you have to knock on the door and say a password to get in. I've also been watching the new season of Hell's Kitchen. Mark and I both. Mark, who's another founding member of Neon Space, who's busy opening his restaurant. No surprise, but he's really into food, and we both are into cooking shows. We like to talk about cooking shows in our free time. I sort of think Top Chef is the best of them, but Hell's Kitchen's fun too. I feel like I'm not very adventurous with my bread. I normally just get sourdough bread. Difference between rye bread. Wait, was this a... See, this one has rye and pumpernickel, separate types of bread. Here we go. Pumpernickel versus rye bread. What's the difference? This is the content I'm looking for. I love Is It Cake. Is It Cake is a jam. But I was like, how are they going to turn this TikTok trend into a full show? They should be 10-second clips of somebody is this cake and then just cutting into it. But I don't know. I like watching the bakers make their stuff, and the guest celebrity judges try to guess what they're doing. Yeah, one of the reasons I do like sourdough is because it lasts a while. I feel like, especially when you start getting like not super like pump full of preservative breads, they last like under a week if you get like really fresh bread. But sourdough lasts a while. We got real off the rails since you've been not here.
Hopefully this. How's my
Talk
audio
about the
sounding?
difference. That sounds better now. We're doing the technical difference between pumpernickel and rye bread. And that's the start of our tech talk.
Starting off on some tech topics already. Excellent.
Let me see. I'll show a picture. I am the KY was baking rye bread. And I was like, isn't rye bread supposed to be dark? Like,
aside from it having a weird name, I don't even know what pumpernickel is. I've like heard it just because it's a funny, like, I don't know, like it's a name that catches my attention.
Yeah, this is a picture of his rye bread, and I don't know what you mentally pull up when you think about rye bread, but I was saying I like think of rye bread as dark, like.
Oh like yeah, I do too. Yeah, like this picture that you have up here. That's what I would consider.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
thinking too. Maybe that's a Washington thing. I don't know, but yeah, I guess it's not. There's just different types of rye bread, and then like the darker rye bread is colored with like molasses or coffee, but it's like they put stuff in it to make it dark. So like it isn't normally dark, even if he's using the dark flour too. Like this is dark rye flour, but you have to add coloring to it, and then. I guess pumpernickel is also a type of rye bread, but I'm just going to read the difference here before we get into tech stuff. What is pumpernickel? Pumpernickel is a traditional German bread made from coarse rye flour. There we go. There's the rye flour, giving it a distinctive dark brown color. Some German pumpernickel recipes incorporate whole or white wheat flour, but European pumpernickel bread usually refers to bread made with rye flour only. European bakers make pumpernickel bread with a sourdough starter. Okay, that's interesting. Instead of dry yeast and bake it on a low heat setting for an entire day. Pumpernickel in the United States differs from European pumpernickel in terms of recipe and cooking time. Most U.S. recipes use a dry yeast instead of a sourdough starter, and bakeries tend to bake this type of bread more rapidly. U.S. pumpernickel is also more likely to contain wheat flour combined with the ground rye than traditional European pumpernickel. Rye bread is a type of bread made with flour and rye grain. It is widespread throughout Europe, and there are many different types of baking traditions. All recipes contain rye flour, sometimes in combination with white or whole grain wheat flour, and the proportions of the rye flour affect the bread's darkness and texture. Are you mixing wheat flour and rye flour, or are you just using rye flour on the KY?
That sounds like my mom makes that kind of bread too. She is super German, and she makes it because she can't find the German bread that she likes, and it takes like all fucking day, and she has a specific like machine that both kneads the bread and then bakes it. It's like a bread making machine that she like adds ingredients to, and then it like has like these kneaders. It'll knead it, and then you leave it in there, and it like rises, and then it turns into an oven. I don't know. It's like an all-in-one machine, but I mean the bread's really good. I wonder if
I've also seen this marbled where they mix dark and light rye. How do you get the swirls though? Like,
oh yeah, that's like you flattened it out and then you just rolled it up into like a thing, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like the flat dough, and then I don't know. But based on KY's image, it looked like he was making it in the oven. So I don't think he has that like bread making machine that my mom uses.
He was making those are like biscuits, I think. Yeah, it says light rye. This bread is made using white rye flour ground from the center of the endosperm. What the hell is an endosperm? That sounds kinky. Of the rye berry. This flour does not contain the outer seed coat, the bran, or the germ, so the flour and the bread it makes tastes fairly light in color. Dark rye, from what we can tell, dark rye breads can be made of two ways. The first version uses white rye flour in the same basic formula as light rye bread, but adds coloring flavoring agents like molasses, cocoa powder, or instant coffee. The second is, and likely more historically authentic version, uses a different ground of rye flour than light rye loaves. The flour is milled from the outer endosperm, there's that word again, which contains more coloring pigments from the rye berry. This flour tends to be more coarsely, and then pumpernickel. Real pumpernickel bread is made using a specific kind of flour, appropriately enough called pumpernickel flour. The flour is made from coarsely ground whole rye berries. In some traditional recipes, breadcrumbs left from other rye loaves are added to the dough for pumpernickel. All right, so now we know. The more you know about rye bread. When I grew up in Solvang, where is Solvang? We had a huge Danish population, and pumpernickel was a very popular bread. I saw the announcement for this new taco game, but I saw like the Medium article, but it just said more details will be released later. So I was kind of waiting for more details to be released. What is head cheese? You're saying all sorts of stuff. I don't know. First, I got to look up where is Solvang because I've never heard of that. That's California. Okay. Let's look on the map. This looks like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. So it's like in between Santa Barbara and Santa Maria. Yeah, I thought Solvang was going to be like somewhere in friggin' Europe. I was like, did you grow up in Europe? Because Solvang sounds like, I don't know, like Russian or something. It's a Danish town. Head cheese? I feel like head cheese is going to be gross. I feel like I've heard of it before. Oh, no. It's a brawn or cold cut terrine or jelly meat. I feel like meat and jelly don't go together. That looks absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry if we have any Danish people and I'm offending your culture, but no, thank you. Thank you for the raid, NFT Gamer TV. We're looking at head cheese right now, which I thought was going to be a type of cheese, but it looks like an absolutely disgusting jellied meat.
It's made out of it's chunks of brain in like a gelatin, like clear gelatin thing. It's called Sülze in German. Head cheese. This is not something Americans. Yeah, this is not something Americans eat though. This is like a breakfast like meat, similar to like mortadella or salami. You'd put this on like a Kaiser roll and have it for breakfast. It's very good.
This isn't something anybody should eat, in my opinion. This should be banned. This should be outlawed. This is a crime against humanity. And yeah, I think it's a war crime if you eat this personally, but to each their own.
Priscilla said every time she had to slice head cheese in the deli job she had. Okay, you're being dramatic. It's not that gross. It doesn't smell like anything, does it? Maybe you guys had some weird.
The raid did work. And also, thank you for the raid. We're Neon Space. We're a collectible brand on Wax / streamers that do crypto stuff, and we are about to go over through
we're about to go into crypto shit,
tech stuff. But yeah, we're starting out with some technical talk about bread, and somehow got into head cheese. But let's read what
bread, and then we went from bread into what you put on top of the bread, and then so here we are at head cheese.
Head cheese or brawn is a cold cut terrine. I don't even know what that word means. Traditional French cuisine is a loaf of force meat. Hell, or meat jelly. I'm telling you, meat and jelly are words that should not go together. That's not right. It is made with the flesh from the head or calf of pig, less commonly sheep or cow. Simply an ass pick. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's more meat jelly. Despite the dish name there's no cheese, it would probably be better if it was cheese. Oh my gosh. Trimmings from the more commonly eaten cuts of pork and veal are often used with gelatin as a binder.
Yeah, it's like brain.
It's eyes,
yeah,
or ears. You're just putting all the gross parts of an animal like into a jelly. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
You guys talking so much shit and never tried it. It's not bad. I guess Priscilla gets to talk shit because she used to slice it and work at a butcher or at a deli.
She said it made her gag when it was sliced. So I'll take Priscilla's.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe Priscilla is just biased. Like she thinks it's gross, and then it's like making her gag because I don't know. It's not that gross.
I feel like you eat all sorts of weird shit, German stuff. Don't you also eat?
Yeah, blood sausage gets a bad rep too.
Blood sausage. Yeah, no, thank you.
Or liver sausage. It's like a spread. It's really good. Put like some cornichons on there, or in English it's just pickles.
Blood sausage is a sausage filled with blood that is cooked and dried and mixed with the filler.
Blood. Yeah, it's coagulated blood and then sliced into sausage slices. It's not.
How is that better than just eating a sausage not filled with blood? Like,
I can't defend this stuff because it does sound gross on the surface. You just have to try it.
Did you know that when you're cooking meats and like the red stuff comes out, that actually isn't blood?
Oh yeah. What is it? Just water or juice?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I saw this in a cooking show or something. Like,
I feel like blood is much more dark red. Generally,
what is the red liquid that comes out of meat? I feel like this is the dumbest thing. It's myoglobin. The red liquid is actually myoglobin, a protein that is only found in muscle tissue, but it's not actually blood. So like when you're cooking meats like steak and stuff, or even chicken, when the red stuff comes out, they're like, that's not blood, even though everybody thinks it's blood. I learned that recently. That might have been a Reddit thing even. I don't know.
Okay. I don't
know. Let's get into tech stuff. We're off the rails here. We're 20 minutes in. We haven't talked about anything technical.
Let's do some tech talk, actually. There's been some crazy shit this week. Let me switch to my screen here. I'm going to go with web. Yay, that's it.
Little switcheroo.
And I'm going to start on just the crypto market before we dive into some of the shit that went down this week, because we had some pretty big, I don't know if you, I mean, I guess you probably maybe didn't even notice here on Wax, but there was a pretty big exploit that affected the Curve liquidity pools, and Curve is like 35 to 40% of the entire DeFi volume of traded cryptocurrency assets on EVM on EVM blockchains. Like Curve is basically the biggest protocol out there for swapping, and they got exploited with their with their rebalancing like algorithm, where basically we'll talk about that in a second. Let's look at the market first. So I'm on the 15-minute because I was doing some swings this morning, but let's go to like not the 15-minute. I like to keep it on the day. Here we go. All right, daily chart. We're looking at Ethereum first. Remove some of our lines. Take a look. And it looks like kind of like what we were talking about last week, like kind of cooling off still. We've kind of flipped here to red. We haven't gotten our bear print flip yet, but I do expect that's coming not too far down the line. And then we usually like to keep peeking at the weekly. The weekly closes have still been bearish the last few weeks. Bearish, bearish, bearish. And that hasn't changed. So this is the last week close. That candle still kind of a bearish like close, and kind of in line with what we're expecting to see, which is a retest of the strength band, kind of pulling down and bouncing again here to continue our uptrend. Again, I'm not 100% convinced that crypto is out of the bear market. Like stocks feel out of the bear market. Crypto does not really. And a big part of that is if we go here, Bitcoin is going to be my kind of like home base for this. If I go even further out to like the monthly chart here, you can see that Bitcoin has been kind of in this rising wedge pattern on the monthly. I'd call this, and that rising price action is also coupled with lower volume. Look at all these volume charts here, having been, most of these peaks of these volume candles are lower than they've been historically speaking throughout the basic, especially in the like recent time. Like look at all of this price action coupled with much higher volume, then the price starting to climb while the volume starts to dry off. So you have kind of a divergence here, price moving up, volume moving down, and that's a relatively bearish divergence. Also, now we're on the monthly chart. You can see still very much on a bear print here, still below the strength band and looking like we're getting rejected and running out of room on the SRSI here. So price action looking like it wants to cool off. This is the monthly chart, so this is crazy far out. You can see each one of these candles is a full month, but what we're looking for is a bull print on the monthly chart, which usually indicates and historically has indicated very accurately the start of a bull market run. And you can see that actually happening here in the previous bull market run right around May, June of 2019, which was definitely the beginning of this run up. You got our double top here. That was the top of the market. And then here we flipped to bear, and now we've been in this bear trend. We've been being pushed down by this strength band. And if I go to like not Coinbase, but something that's been around even longer than Coinbase, to look at the monthly chart, like let's go to crypto. DYDX is not what I'm looking for. On DXs. Here we go. Bitstamp's been around, I think, longer than Coinbase. Yep. So here you can actually see a similar deal. This is the monthly chart. We did get our bull print also in 2016, which would have been right around the start of like the IPO craze, right around the start of the bull market there. 2016, 17, 18, 19, or 18 kind of peaking out and flipping bear. So the monthly indicator really cleanly has called for me the tops and the bottoms of these markets. I haven't seen it call the bottom of this one yet and telling me that the market is flipping, and I'm seeing it, you know, coming up on what would be pretty strong resistance here, and you know, running out of steam as it approaches that. On the monthly, this is starting to look kind of bearish. I do think that in the next few months we'll likely pull back to previous lows of the bear market, and I think that those lows will likely, and my hope is also that they will be a higher low. So I don't think it'll revisit all the way back down to the previous like low lows below 20,000, but that's $20,000 per Bitcoin. But I do see a potential for us to pull back to around 20,000, make that, you know, our new kind of baseline, and then push up from there, which then may be the reversal we're looking for. That first time confirmation of, okay, we are seeing a higher low, and so we should expect now a higher high. And again, we haven't really, like, you know, we've been getting lower lows all the way down. We're getting a peak here, but this peak is absolutely not, you know, considering a higher high than it had previously been. I'd say you'd have to come at least above, you know, 45,000 again to see that kind of playing out. And with our like strength band from my indicator here, I'm pretty bearish on the longer term trajectory of this chart. Let's go back to the shorter term here on the weekly. On the weekly, we do have, like, we have been, you know, flipping bullish, and we had been moving bullish for quite a while. But again, the last few weeks are starting to close pretty bearish again. The chart is, you know, it's got room to kind of retest previous levels, and that's like around 2,500, 25,000 rather per Bitcoin. So still a little bit ways down while it would remain in a bull market. And then, like I said, I think we have room to retest potentially, you know, the 20,000 range. So all the way down to here. So something along the lines of like pushing down to here and then moving up, ultimately breaking back into that bull market cycle around April, maybe a little bit before April next year, would be very in line with the like general cycling sentiment of this market class, where the bull market is fueled by the halving event, where the Bitcoin mining output gets cut in half every 3 years. And so that's happening in April or around April, depending on, you know, how consistent the blocks are found in the Bitcoin network. But around April, the mining rewards will be halved. The inflation rate on the Bitcoins entering circulation drops again by 50%. And that generally has been the catalyst event that starts these bull cycles. So we're still quite a ways out, and I would be surprised to see a very short-term bull cycle like this. But if we look at like the QQQ, which that is the NASDAQ, you can see we are actually back at the old top for the previous bull market here. So we've retraced all the way back up. We're basically coming up on, I would say, very important resistance here too, because anything much higher than where we currently have pushed to with the stock market here will push us into new all-time high territory. If we also look at the monthly for the Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, for the QQQ, you can actually see we got a bull print on the last month close. So this month closed literally like this weekend. So this is the first time we actually got our bull print back. We're very much bullish in terms of this. You can see we are running out of RSI here, so that kind of tracks with us, considering the previous peak as a very strong resistance level. It's likely we'll have to pull back to cool off the RSI on the monthly. But that pullback now, I'm not convinced is going to mean, pulling back to the strength band all the way. It might just range here and flatline for a while before then pushing into new highs, because this absolutely does look like a flip back to a bull cycle. And this is an incredibly short bear market. Generally speaking, like this is a more realistic bear market here, or even this one here, where we're looking at, this is the 2008 one over here, where we got our bear print, and then we, spent almost like a year or so before we got our flip back. Here, we got our bear print, and this has been, no, this was almost 2 years, sorry. So this is starting at in like February or so, April, yeah, February 2018, we got a print, and then it was flipped back in, what is that, November, so almost 2 years, November 2009, versus this time around, we got our print here in May 2022, and now it is July 2023. So just about 1 year of this kind of bear market. And that has been really kind of interesting if we're trading stocks. And if you pay attention to the stock markets a lot, there's been quite a few short squeezes going on, because I personally believe it's pretty obviously because a lot of institutional traders were, preparing for a bear market, preparing for a recession, which was very much in the charts up until pretty recently. So I would say up until at least these last 3 months or so, it was pretty reasonable for investors to consider the market conditions to be bear, and for the bear market to potentially, run its course as it normally does, as a like 2-year kind of like slump in these equity assets. Since that slump has flipped in the last few months and really been on a tear, pushing back up and invalidating our bear market sentiment, there's quite a few, hedge funds and big investment money out in the stock market that had been short selling a lot of stocks during this bear cycle, during kind of like this whole chunk here. And a lot of those positions, they are still currently holding short. And so as the market is flipping so quickly, we're ending up seeing, a lot of these institutions holding a lot of short interest, while retail and while, faster moving investment money is flipping their sentiment quickly back to bull, and therefore squeezing out, causing these short squeezes. So if you remember like the GMX, the GameStop GME, the short squeeze back in, that was like a couple years ago at this point. That's kind of a similar story where like GameStop shares were falling, so the institution money was taking the smart and safe position of like, oh, a retail video game, physical gaming like store, yeah, sell that shit, and we'll close these shorts when that company's bankrupt. And in a similar way, these big funds have been selling off shares of companies that are teetering on bankruptcy. And then, if these companies can just keep pushing their like operations along, their short interest needs to be covered, and these people who have short sold their shares eventually have to buy the shares back off the open market. Now that the open market is flying up like this, those buybacks get really pricey. And then you get stuff like positive earnings happening. Like, for example, today after hours, we had like Elf Beauty products did their earnings, and that shit like shot the stock up. So this is just, this is bananas already. But then if we look at, this is on the monthly, if I go to like the 15-minute here, this red section is when the markets are closed. So the red is after hours, the green is pre-market trading. And then the in between the red and the green here, this is the actual market hours. And you can see market closed for this. And after the market closed, we shot up and are still grinding our way up. I'm actually really excited about this one. I wanted to show just because I have call options on this, and options don't actually trade outside of the options don't trade in after hours. So my option closed the day, here where it was basically flat, and then at the end of the market close, the share just shot up like an absurd amount, like 20% or something, 18%. And so tomorrow morning when the market opens, I imagine the Tendy man is going to pay me a visit, and my options are going to be printing pretty aggressively. So, but we're seeing these types of plays playing out constantly right now. Like, let's see, CRVA is another. What is it? Oh, CARV. Carvana. This one had a big pump here. I shouldn't look at the 15-minute, but like if we look at the 1 day or something, you can see like these markets are just flying. And again, this is from $9 up to $47 since this like flipped to bull. So you're seeing like huge runs, and a lot of this is fueled by retail investors basically buying up the shares before the short sellers can buy back to cover their shorted positions. And now those short sellers, they still need to buy back what they've sold, and what they need to buy back, they now need to buy back at $48 a share instead of $9 a share. So this is like 500% profit on spot trading shares on the stock market. Like this is fucking crypto profits on like equity positions. And we're seeing more and more of this right now in the stock market because of what looks to be like a very clear change in the long-term trend here back to bullish. And so as the market is flipping bullish, I think a lot of the like big money hedge funds that move slowly, that mostly deal in preserving wealth strategies and not like aggressive investment strategies, are still short sold. And so they're creating a lot of opportunities for us in these markets. And that same thing can't really be said about the crypto market at the moment. The crypto market is very much not retracing its old highs like the stock market currently is. And it still looks, while both look a little oversold on the monthly, the Bitcoin market looks oversold and below its resistance, whereas the stock market looks oversold, but having blown way past its previous resistance levels, now is kind of looking to kind of cool off and then stay in the bull trend, whereas the stock or the crypto market feels more like it is remained in a bear trend and is now sort of cooling off and resuming its bear kind of activity. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm also going to pop over to the Wax really quick and take a look at what's happened on Wax in the last few days. So you can see Wax, we did push all the way back down. So we've been ranging here between our kind of range of like, say around 4 cents on the bottom end and about, what is this, about 8 or 9 cents is kind of the top of this. And we've still been, we kind of bounced on that 4 cents the first time, pushed up to 8-9 cents ish, and then kind of got rejected. We were waiting to, I think I drew some lines out a while ago too. Yeah, there it is. So we want to see, this 8 cents line flip and turn into support, meaning that, we're closing full days above it and then bouncing off of it, whereas instead we're testing up against it and then being rejected down below it. So this is still very much a resistance, and we're looking for this resistance to flip into support. Once that flips into support, the next level of resistance is significantly higher, about like 12 cents. So then we have basically the room to start ranging here. And if we can push beyond that, there's not a whole lot of resistance to push us much higher again. So definitely there is a decent upside, but we're still very much within our old range. If we go to the weekly to get our sentiment for the overall trend here, we can see still everything being red means still in a very much a bear trend, but above this line. So we are kind of like finding support, bouncing a couple times now here around 4 cents. But I'd say that's an important level that we're kind of continuing to retest. If we don't hold 4 cents, then it's going to potentially push all the way down to 2 or something around here. So keeping an eye on Wax, definitely seeing like volatile days, and you see these wicks that happen, like these big pumps that Wax experiences, And we'll see those on the chart if we're like paying attention. It's like, oh shit, Wax is just mooning here in the last few hours, and you see these like huge, moves up. Like here we got it moving from 5.5 cents up to like almost 7 cents. And this kind of move has been happening within like an hour or two. But then the reality is that within like the next few hours, it also sells back down and isn't able to find support above our targets there. So even when we do get nice big aggressive pumps, the move is still kind of like either selling kind of these tops when you get a big like 20% run or something like that. It's not a bad idea to sell because a big like jump in price comes with pressure in the opposite direction. But what we're really looking for is when we do get a big jump like that, I want to see it stay above our support lines that we're watching. And that's like, if we're going to simplify, it's about 6 cents. So if we can see full 24-hour trading days staying above 6 cents, that is a nice bullish indication that I'm looking for. Now, looking forward to the next week or so, we can see that we have kind of pulled back. We're reaching the kind of bottom end of our range again, and we're becoming oversold. So we are, and at the same time, you can see the divergence here. The unbalanced volume is climbing while the price is climbing. But here, if we zoom out further, price is falling and unbalanced volume had been climbing this whole time. This is a bullish divergence. This makes me feel like, there is potential for these breakouts and these pumps up to come along in the coming weeks, especially because we are, looking to chill out on the selling. We're very much on the oversold side. And so hopefully we're going to see the strength band here hold as the support and push us higher to kind of continue to validate that we are still in this bull trend on the daily chart. And you can see once we got our bull signal, when we did retest that band the first time, we did bounce on it. And since then, I'd say this wick even retested that and bounced from there. So we are still looking like we're clearly seeing a support in the strength band here. So as long as that support stays, I would say my sentiment in the shorter term is still bullish. And generally speaking, the market doesn't look super bearish anymore. For like these divergence look good, and you can see in the last few pumps here, you can see the volume is really up. So you can see like these bars down here represent how much trade volume is happening during this price action, and you can see in the last in this last stretch here, these peaks of these bar graphs are much higher than they had been in the past, which means it's quite a bit of money moving into these assets to push the price that way. And we know that it's moving in rather than moving out by seeing the unbalanced volume climbing versus dropping. So if the unbalanced volume were to be moving down, we could kind of decide that is the money is leaving the market. So with all that in mind, I think we're looking at, crypto prices potentially continuing a downtrend. Looking at the bear market is still happening. But obviously, similarly to the stock market, there are smaller cap assets that are looking to like push up, pump, break out. And that breakout is kind of seen here with this, aggressive climb in our unbalanced volume. Like, look at how high this unbalanced volume currently is. If we go back in time, the last time the unbalanced volume was the same height is like over here. And the price at that time was 40 cents, so we're almost 10x higher in price versus unbalanced volume. So our unbalanced volume is almost back to where it was 10x ago, while our price is still lagging behind. So potentially nice breakouts and stuff, but we are trying to keep an eye to make sure that this remains our support. And if we start to close below 5 cents full trading days, then we might need to reassess, potentially scale back a bit into like cash or something, and then potentially buy back lower. But right now it does look like we're approaching that level and will likely bounce, given that we're seeing the uprise in unbalanced volume, and we are very much oversold on the SRSI. So we'll use that information when we jump into our moving our DeFi money around. But before that, I wanted to look at some of the stuff that's happened on Ethereum. And the big news that happened Sunday, sorry. These hacks and exploits usually happen on Sunday. It's because a lot of these projects are run by humans, and humans take the weekend off and are slower to respond on Sundays. And so if you are somebody who knows of an exploit, you might wait till Sunday to actually, do it on chain so that people don't immediately catch wind. So I'm going to go over here on curve.finance. You can see the volume is down to 9%. This is usually above 30. So huge exodus of volume on the curve protocol. And you can even see they now have, they've now posted on their homepage here about the exploit. So what happened on Curve and with these pools? A lot of this has to do with directly with, you can see that these pools are using ETH, right? So on Ethereum mainnet, ETH is not a token that can generally be used with standard smart contracts. Standard smart contracts on Ethereum can interact easily with ERC20 tokens, which are tokens issued on the Ethereum blockchain. ETH itself is the gas and the utility token of the entire chain, and it is not an ERC20 token. So usually when you're swapping on a DEX using Ethereum, what you're actually using isn't Ethereum, but wrapped Ethereum or WETH. And the reason for that is so that the token that you're interacting with all these protocols with is a ERC20 token. And there is a contract called the wrapping contract, where you can always move one-to-one between ETH and XYZ.
Don't a lot of the protocols route through Curve too?
Jeez. Say again?
Don't a lot of protocols route their trades through Curve? Like even if it's not on the front end, it's like back end for some stuff?
Yeah, so Curve has absurd amounts of liquidity. It definitely had. I mean, you can see like 134 million of this is DAI, USDC, USDT. So a huge amount of stablecoin liquidity lives on Curve. Same with STETH. So this is the Lido stable, like the staked pool for staked ETH that is using Curve. And then there's tons of what are called factory pools, where basically any protocol can deploy a pool onto Curve and therefore tap into this crazy deep liquidity. So there's a lot of transaction volume that happens behind the scenes. And anyway, so what happened with this hack is that there was an exploit that exploited liquidity pools that use Ethereum directly, not wrapped ETH or ERC20 tokens, but ETH. And so that's you can see like pools like Curve and ETH, PETH and ETH. None of these are WETH. And what happened with the exploit basically was that you can supply liquidity to a pool like this. Like here you have this pool. If you wanted to supply liquidity, you would be able to supply it either as a mix of all of the assets in the pool or as a single asset. And the same way you can also withdraw. So here, if you say withdraw, if you have these, you can see you can choose one token and you can choose to withdraw your liquidity, 100% of it as USDC, even though the liquidity itself is split between all three of the assets. And the exploit took advantage of the algorithm that governs this stake unstake metric and what people were doing, or what the exploiters were doing. So there's a mix of exploiters. There's some black and some white hat versions of this. So some people, once the hack was known, some people who have good intentions went and did the exploit to vulnerable pools in order to pull the liquidity out and then give it back to the protocol in good faith. But obviously not everybody's a white hat hacker, and even some of the white hat hacks that were attempted to help were front run by by red hat hackers or black hat hackers, by people who had malicious intention. And that's another really interesting way that works is, the way that Ethereum transactions work is when you send a transaction from your wallet, it doesn't immediately go to the blockchain as, being added to the block right away. First, it goes into what's called the mempool, and is basically broadcasted into a pool of transactions that are all waiting to be confirmed. And then the next block that gets found, the miner who finds that block then chooses which of the transactions from the mempool to add into the block and, you know, confirm and make them official. And what happened with these white hat hackers is some of these hackers broadcasted their transactions, which were basically to exploit the pool to pull this money out. And they were broadcasted into the mempool, and then a malicious actor basically broadcasted the same transaction but with a higher gas fee. And so their transaction got confirmed first. They ended up doing the exploit, and the white hack person's transaction failed because the miner picked up the, you know, the more lucrative one, the one paying the more fee. So there's definitely you know, people who understood this blockchain well making ass loads of money by stealing from these liquidity pools, and the pools were robbable because of a failure in this algorithm that allowed people to add liquidity. Like if we're going to use let's say this pool as an example, so they've been halted at this point, but the way that this pool's liquidity worked was, you know, you're adding AL, ETH, and Ethereum, so the exploiter would add liquidity as AL, ETH, and Ethereum, and then pull just the Ethereum side of the liquidity. And the way that they were doing this was causing the amount of Ethereum that they were pulling to exceed the amount of liquidity that they had supplied because of an error within that balancing algorithm. And so basically, you know, people were able to exploit these pools and pull value from them that they should not have been able to do, and that, you know, didn't get caught in any of the audits that were done on these protocols. And so a lot of these pools got, you know, robbed to the tune of, I think, close to $70 million over the course of like Sunday, you know, while people were trying to drain, you know, which kind of sucks. And I know not a lot of us in Neon space are super like deep into DeFi, so aren't necessarily that concerned about this, but there's a lot of broader reaching implications of this that aren't super clear right off the bat. And I'd like to actually talk about one of those right now. Is so the CRV ETH pool is one of the bigger pools here that was exploited. You can see there's still about $1 million left in here, which is quite a bit, but I think like something like 6 million or so was stolen from this pool. And that includes this CRV currency, which the CRV token is the governance share of the Curve protocol. You can use that token to basically, you stake it, you get you have to lock it and stake it, and then you can vote on the different pools that are here. You can vote on who gets incentives. So like here you can see these pools are being paid in CRV incentives, and there's a range. You know, you could make between 5.7 all the way up to 14%. The boost that comes from owning staked CRV, and the amount of base yield comes from how many people are voting on this pool to receive that yield. So these CRV tokens are a integral part of this whole ecosystem, but they also exist across the DeFi space. I think Calm is for this one. Yeah. So specifically AAVE, this is a major money market. You can see $7.6 billion in liquidity over here. And if we look at AAVE, the V2 market, I guess I got to sign in with my MetaMask. If we look at the V2 market, here it is on Ethereum. You can see, let me actually look at the market. You can see Curve tokens are supplied here, $169 million as collateral, and they were being lent out, and they're being used as collateral to borrow other assets in here. So stable coins, to borrow ETH, to borrow Gemini dollars, you know, any of these assets in this pool, you can supply CRV, and you can then borrow those assets. And you can see it's currently disabled. So they're already aware of this issue, and they're starting to mitigate it. But when this started happening on Sunday, the big risk here was that, the hacker now has $6-7 million worth of this Curve token. There's not a whole lot of deep liquidity left on the Curve to absorb, the selling of this CRV token into cash. So if they then dump the CRV token, the value of it would start to fall quickly. And as the value of that falls, the backing value of the collateral that's being used to loan, or being used as collateral to borrow all these other assets starts to fall. And then the risk becomes that the value of the lent out, or the value of the collateral CRV, falls to a spot where the loans are no longer covered by the CRV value in the AAVE pool, and then become liquidated. If they become liquidated, AAVE takes possession of these tokens and sells them to basically cover the debt of the other tokens. So let's say if you had borrowed Bitcoin against your CRV tokens, if you became liquidated, AAVE would take your CRV tokens and use them to buy Bitcoins, basically to make sure that the protocol doesn't have a solvency issue, and that, there's no debt that can't be withdrawn anymore by people supplying the liquidity to these protocols. So the risk becomes that if the CRV token starts to fall and needs to be liquidated, the amount of money being claimed here, so you got another 282 million of these tokens, almost $170 million in here. If you need to start selling that on the open market to cover the debt that has been taken against it, that sale is going to drive the price even further down, pushing more lending positions into liquidation, causing more CRV token to become liquidated, and spiraling and cycling down this. It's it's called a liquidity crunch cascade. So you'd end up, lower and lower liquidity available to trade, but more and more of the CRV tokens becoming, flooded into the market as people are selling them to cover the bad debt that they now have. And then the risk of that is that, we're not able to cover all the debt of CRV in this money market. And then the tokens that were lent out against the CRV collateral will be, basically like some of these, look at this, like 120. Okay, this one costs a lot to borrow. It's because it's probably being quite actively used. Where's the utilization? Yeah, here, total borrowed. This will show me that. So it's similar to this one here. Yeah, actually, this is a perfect example. You have $850,000 of this Pax dollar supplied to the money market, and it looks like all of it. Or so sorry, 580. I said 850. $580,000. $580,000 is being lent out. So all of this money is currently lent out. So if you were the person to supply this dollar, you can't withdraw it because it's not there. It's been lent out. And so the more we look, like we can look through some of these assets, quite a few of them have, like FarX. This is also almost 100% lent out, like very, very steep, not quite 100, it's still $500,000 worth of liquidity. But the risk is that these unaffected assets like Pax dollars, like FarX, and like some of these other, stable coins and maybe other crypto assets become bad debt and can't be withdrawn, at which point, the protocols that use this would also have, would be unable to withdraw their supply. And then you can go into other DeFi, the deeper you go into DeFi, the more all this stuff works together. Like, for example, overnight finance. Overnight finance issues USD plus assets on a bunch of different blockchains, and $23 million worth of value in those chains. And if we look at, like, right now we're on Arbitrum. If we look at, let's take a look at USD plus performance, you can see down here, or not performance, we want to see the collateral for it. You can see down here, Pendle, here, AAVE, $500,000 of this backing is currently supplied in AAVE. So if AAVE becomes insolvent, the backing for these tokens may not be accessible in a timely fashion. And then the cryptocurrency issued by this backing, which in this case is USD plus, would be potentially risk depeg and no longer be 1-to-1 with the dollar, which could cascade into, you know, another panic sell of people unwrapping from these assets. And all of these things being so connected really can make for very quick and kind of scary motions in these markets. So it's important to understand how interconnected, you know, it's like, yeah, Curve got exploited, but that, you know, the money stolen from Curve will affect the money borrowed on AAVE, and the money borrowed on AAVE affects the protocols using AAVE as collateral for oh yeah, here, this one's AAVE too. So that's 1.5 million plus half a million. So $2 million of this is in AAVE. So we can check that here. This is incredibly transparent, so you can actually look at all the contract addresses and take a look at how everything's built out here. But you can see, yeah, it looks like, yeah, all of it is lent out. So you can see they've added almost 900,000 USDC, and almost 900,000 of it is currently lent out. So, and then they've borrowed, you know, 353 wrapped ETH from this position. So again, this is not super risky at the moment. The health factor is 1.2, so this is not in risk of liquidation, but it is in risk of not being able to withdraw or unwrap this position. So, you know, this is kind of a big deal, and this scares quite a few people. Also, if you you know, this is just one example. AAVE is just one money market. There's multiple money markets that allow CRV token as collateral. Like Forex Lend is one of those, and Forex Lend is responsible directly for the peg of Forex. So, you know, again, people who then have Forex, like I have quite a bit of Forex in some liquidity pools. That means, you know, even though Curve, it's not in Curve, I need to be aware of these exploits on Curve to basically understand the risk profile of my other assets, which are indirectly affected by this. Kind of crazy. So, you know, I'm usually keeping my finger on the pulse of this. I share, like we shared about this exploit over in like the Maxi Discord at like before 10 a.m. Like before Curve even posted this banner, we were already talking about this ongoing and sharing with people like what is a like prudent way to manage your risk. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting development in the crypto world. So I definitely wanted to talk about that for a couple minutes at least. The other big thing that happened recently is the not crypto.com, Coinbase launched their own blockchain, the Base chain it's called. And everything that's run on that chain so far has rug pulled. So we have like, let's see, like Leet Swap was one of them. They rug pulled yesterday, or somebody exploited them. Leet Swap. Look at that one. Leet Swap.finance. This is a, I mean, I feel like the Matrix background.
No. That's a scam.
But here you see it, Base, the Base chain. You so there's a crypto.
Nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Let's
Leet
go.
Sweep.
Leet Swap. I fucked with this for a little bit.
Are you saying this already rug pulled, or is this something different?
This, yeah, yesterday. Yesterday it got exploited. A similar hack where people basically, you see how most of these pools are combined with this Leet or this Axel USDC. What somebody did was there's not a lot of liquidity for this USDC token, so somebody basically manipulated the price of USDC so that it wasn't 1-to-1 with a dollar, but it ended up being like one USDC Axel was worth $800 on chain, and then they added a bunch of liquidity and just pulled the Ethereum side out, since the, you know, artificially pumped the price of the dollar up and then pulled all the Ethereum out of the liquidity pool. They stole almost $100 million like this. So right now you got $1,000 left.
Putting $100 million in the protocol, like,
that blew my mind too, because if we look at like let's see, like Dex Greener,
That's more than like all of the money on Wax.
it's more than like every other chain too. Like if we look, oh here it's fallen down now, but this is in order of the most volume. So here's Ethereum mainnet. You can see the mainnet is doing about $824 million in 24-hour trading volume. Binance Smart Chain looks like coming in second place, 346. Then Arbitrum, 220. Base Chain is doing $39 million, and it's not even open to the public yet. So, oh look, they got a bunch more like apps now. So yesterday when I was checking this out, LeetSwap and RocketSwap were the only active on mainnet trading platforms. And we are seeing, you know, like let's see, LeetSwap's probably doing no volume anymore. 9 million still, Jesus. That's after Rug in 24 hours. That's nuts. But yeah, you got some new things here, some competition starting to brew. And I mean, I'm a big fan of like liquidity mining. And for example, there is a team that I follow that does the Arbitrum exchange. I actually kind of like what they built. And they have launched like today as I started our stream. It just announced their base swap. That's this guy here. And let's see how that one's currently. Like I bought a few of these tokens right before we streamed. It's literally just starting. So even like these liquidity farms aren't even like showing their APR yet. This is literally just day zero stuff. And so I'm waiting on this one. I'll probably jump into some of these pools and farm some of this yield once the pools go live, because day zero yields are absurd. Like fucking absurd. Like let me I took a screenshot of one yesterday when I was doing it on the LeetSwap. Let me share the screenshot really quick just to give a sense of how absurd some of these yields are. Because it's like batshit. Like I wouldn't expect anybody to even believe that that's real, because it's so high. But let me scroll through all the stock trading stuff we've been talking about, and I'll pull this one up really quick.
The hell is an Ogre token? Is that Shrek coin?
The other one that got like rugged was Bald coin, which is apparently a reference to the bald CEO of Coinbase. And it's supposedly here 40,300% APR. This is like I put $86. I put $86 into this just as a test, and it was printing like $86 every 24 hours in just yield. So, you know, again, I'm only doing this with tests. These are brand new wallets, so I'm not trying to like get robbed, but I'm also enough of a degen to be like, I will risk $100 to try to chase a yield like this. And that's kind of what I'm expecting over here too. So once these farms go live, let's see if the earn tab goes live too.
I feel like
swap.
This is like a provenly not sustainable model that just pumps and dumps every time. Like this is no different than clickers on Wax, which is like
this is exactly right. This is you go in and you get out as fast as you fucking can. Let's see. I bought 25.
I just like to see some innovation in the space, not like rehashing the same crap we already know doesn't work. Like getting sick of all this stuff.
This is literally like the same kind of like yield farming that you've seen for years and years. It's just a brand new chain, new liquidity, new opportunity. And again, it's day zero. So, you know, like this token, BSwap token, what is it? I bought the pre-sale was 90 cents per token, and they're already like 1,000% up. And again, it's a quick in, quick out kind of thing. Yeah, you're right. This is not sustainable. So trying to, you know, farm this for long term is a bad idea. But then when you
wrote the Viper swap thing was just like, yeah, like this doesn't fucking work like for long periods, and people need to figure out a new method. And yeah, so you're not wrong. Day zero is great in clickers too, if you can get in early. But like,
exactly, yep.
I don't know, like if you're just getting in early at the expense of other people losing money, like, I don't know, like, I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, someone's gonna lose at some point, and like, you're basically just like playing hot potato with fucking money, and you don't want to be holding the bag when it fucking collapses. Which, I guess that's one way to make money, but I would prefer people building legitimate projects that have longevity on the blockchain.
That's why I go for pools like this. Like, this was Ethereum and dollars, and it was doing 4,000%, and at least my liquidity wasn't really at risk at some shitcoin token, but my reward was, you know, absurd amount of shitcoin. The problem here is that this pool rug pulled, so I can't even trade the shitcoin because this is all paused. So if I were to come here and I want to sell my fucking LEET token, like, it just won't work. Like, I can't sell it. Not even.
You want to know Max's DJ status? He's like, every single one of these is rug pulled. I'm hopping in the new one.
Yeah, that's literally like, yeah. I was like, this is shit. So I like was online like this morning. I was like, okay, where's there like a project that isn't trash? And so the fact that like this is a project launched by people who I've been following for like 6-7 months now, and who built pretty like solid stuff and are themselves doxed in the space, I'm a little bit more comfortable jumping into this. But again, all of this is being done with money that I bridged through the developer bridge into a blockchain that's pre-beta, like it's not available to the public yet. And there is it's very difficult to move your money off of this chain again. And there's not like a bridge where you can go back and forth. Like, the way you sent money into this is on your mainnet Ethereum wallet, you send Ethereum to an address on the Ethereum blockchain, and then like that, when you then sign in with that same wallet onto the base blockchain, it will have given you the Ethereum there. But there isn't like a way to go back. So there's no native token. Ethereum is the native token.
At least
so
that's
it's
good.
similar to Optimism.
My worry about them doing shit like this is like, I don't want them to fucking tank their exchange because they do some stupid shit in DeFi. I don't know what they're doing.
That's exactly what I was concerned about too, because it's like literally everything so far has been a rug pull. The only like silver lining is that, you know, real people aren't necessarily being rugged because this isn't open to the public yet. Like, you have to jump through hoops to get involved with this shit. And I mean, I like to do that stuff.
I'll fuck up USDC. I hold USDC, but that's technically Circle too, right? It's not even Coinbase.
Yeah, so
proper.
If you look, the USDC, there's Axel USDC, so it's not even a native USDC asset. And then this is also fucked because like this is an issue with the what is it called, with the decimal. So you can see $25 should get me much, or here, I guess if we do it in cash, it'll make more sense. 1 Ethereum should be not 0.00000. So there's a decimal issue here where like this decimal should be like,
shouldn't that be like $1,000?
Yeah, it should be like 18 places further forward. So, you know, be careful. This is still an extreme like alpha version. A lot of these protocols are not like ready to be used. But, you know, I don't know. It's interesting to me, at least, and I wanted to note that, hey, Coinbase's blockchain is actually on a mainnet now, and it can be interacted with. And I do think, you know, if you have the like the itch to kind of do these degen things, this is where the opportunities are going to be the deepest in the coming week for fucking sure. Because this is like for example, this one literally, let's see, this was announced, like the front end for this literally went live at 3:13 today. So
like an hour ago.
Yeah. So this is yeah, this is kind of like where I'm watching this. I'm gonna wait for the pool. I'm gonna like look at the farm here, and once they add
non-financial advice for this.
Yeah, that's definitely not financial advice. But what I want to do is I'm waiting for a farm that's gonna be like ETH and US dollars, or maybe even this B swap token in US dollars. But realistically, I'm looking for something like ETH and US dollars that pays some type of APR, and then I'm going to be supplying liquidity, collecting my APR, and just like a clicker on day one, I'm going to be trying to recover my principal as quickly as possible. Once I've made, you know, 100% of my initial liquidity value back, then I'll probably start stacking these BSwap tokens and taking a look at what like the earn tabs are offering. If this is going to be a similar iteration of the DEX that they launched on Arbitrum, it's likely that the BSwap tokens will be stakeable for more Ethereum or more Bitcoin or more USDC, not just earning for their own, like for themselves again. But again, this is live for less than an hour so far. We're coming up on an hour here in the next minute or two, though. And I just wanted to mention, Coinbase has their own blockchain, and it is coming along. Like, this is built on the Optimism stack. If you want to add this to your wallet, it is actually currently on Chainlist. So I'm not sure if I've showed this before, but this is a great resource. Chainlist.org. This is like a place where you can take a look at all of these different, what are they called? All these different Ethereum virtual machine blockchains. So like stuff I haven't even fucking heard of, like, I don't know, Songbird Canary Network. Okay. If I wanted to access this, I could then just, click add to MetaMask. And then here it'll be like, do you want to add this? And it'll add this so that I'll say approve, switch network. And now when I'm on my MetaMask wallet here, I can toggle through the, where are they? I can toggle through the available networks, and now Songbird Canary Network is one of them. And so same way that if I'm trying to add Base, I just type in for Base, and there it is, Base chain, and then I can click down here. These are all the different RPC endpoints. So here you can see the servers. So I would take maybe this one, Connect Wallet. And now I can say next, connect, and approve. And now I have Base chain. I'm going to switch over to Base chain, and there we go. Now I have Base chain on my wallet. So if you are, if there is a blockchain out there that you'd like to, interact with, and you don't necessarily know how to add it to MetaMask, chainlist.org, really powerful resource, because you can pretty much just type in whatever you're looking for and have it add it to you. So like obviously you have all the big ones, but they have a bunch of ones that are much smaller. And not only do they have the smaller ones, but let's say you're already on let's do like something like Polygon, right? You already have a Polygon on your wallet, but like for some reason the application you're using is erroring out when you're trying to submit a transaction. You can then come here, find a different endpoint. See, like some of these are erroring out. So if you're connected to this one, for example, it might not work. So then you could come to Chainlist, see which of these endpoints are currently active and have the fastest ping rate, and then add those to your wallet. And then, you can have different options and be able to kind of resolve problems much easier. So really cool tool there. I just wanted to show that off. But yeah, that's, without getting too crazy deep, that's kind of the main DeFi like news I wanted to talk about. Beyond that, let's take a look at what we have on Wax. Let's go to.
We also got to do another sticker vote on our DAO. It's the first week of the month, and we're supposed to be trying to order stickers the first week so we can do monthly drops. We also should be having a sticker drop this Friday. We still need to do our product photos, but when we make the vote for the DAO, I can announce that we're doing a sticker sale on Friday and also vote for the next sticker artwork.
Let's see, log into my.
Inadequate Mass says, win Matrix token, call it bullet time. That rug pull thing was definitely using Matrix type imagery for their.
That was your first indication that this was not a place to go. Although the team behind that swap did not pull the liquidity. It was an exploit because their rebalance contract sucked. So I don't know. End effect is the same, but I guess the team that deployed the token didn't steal it.
Doesn't really make it much better for the users. Just like Harmony One didn't steal the shit out of their bridge, still fucked every single person who used their chain. So
yeah, exactly.
doesn't make me want to work with the team again when they lose you all of your money.
Exactly.
I
And
personally
also,
will
like,
not be
most of
doing
those-
anything on that chain. My risk tolerance is much lower.
Chain is also going to be open to the public later this month. It's about to be open to the public. So we're getting ready. All right, let's start with this. Let's take a look. We got some of our positions here. Oh, yeah, we got some Wombat. And let's see how much we've pulled from Wombat. Yeah, I'm going to claim our Wombat rewards first thing first here with our wallet.
I think the season's about to end for Wombat pretty soon here. Not sure where you see. On the Wombat menu.
What's up?
What's going on, Mahala? Do your 24-hour run now. So yeah, I think today's like the last run of the season, and then the Wombat season ends tomorrow. Oh shit, the time is up in 19 minutes. I definitely missed it then. I just sent my guy on a 6-hour run. Fail.
Damn.
But I make nothing from Wombat. Like, I make a fraction of a wax, so it's not going to make a difference to me anyway. Wombat is not a very good use of my time. But I'm in a clan, and I like to help the clan out, so I mostly do it for that more than, like, me seeing a return in my clicking, because it's also, honestly, the only game on Wax I'm still playing right now. I don't play any other games on Wax.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, here's what we've made
out on clickers. Clicking shit every 5 to 10 minutes on like 20 different protocols to earn a fraction of a cent is not really my jam.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Let's see. Here's what we're pulling.
I honestly earn more through the loot crates and Counter-Strike than I do on anything on Wax. Just from playing and getting, I can sell those things for Steam bucks, then I can buy more games. That's really like all I want to do with FG Gaming anyway, is buy stuff to be able to sell it to buy into new games. So, you know, if I can do that in Web 2, then that's good enough for me.
That's true. Yeah. The Web 3 aspect is really just overcomplicates that side of it.
Overcomplicates it, and the games aren't even fun. So why would I want to buy into more not fun games?
Right.
But I don't know. Hopefully, eventually, they release some games I want to play on Wax. I did buy into the Oxia Origin drop, but even that game doesn't look great. It looks okay, but it is an actual 3D game, so we'll see. I got the atomic key, so I should have a unique avatar, which should be fun.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at our pool's performance here, by the way. So on Alcor, oh, Marcy, she wants some pizza. There you go. You can have a little crust. On Alcor, we have a couple pools in the Wax USDT pool. Let me swallow before I speak with my mouth full.
I wonder if we should do the same sticker vote as last time and just add a new artwork, or should we mix all the artworks up? So we do have 3 artworks that did not get voted in from the last vote.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not a bad thing to do. DAO stuff on Tech Day.
No, I agree. Let's see. This is about what we're expecting. So it looks like this pool performance is projecting about what we're seeing here. Since it's been about a week and we're expecting about 0.5 cent a day, and we've made about 4 cents in yield. So close, 0.5 cent a day, 4 cents total. It's like almost, that's like 8x this, and this is a little more than 0.5 cent. This is about 7 days worth of performance. 0.5 cent per day times 365 days is about $2, and we have about $10 worth of liquidity. So we could extrapolate. This is close to 20% APR. 20% isn't bad for USDT wax. I kind of like both of these tokens, and I'm not really concerned with it, and I'm still within my range here. But 20% isn't as exciting as some of the other opportunities. So let me take a look at what we're making on our Wombat, for example. Much more than 20. But almost 80. So significantly more here. But like you said, it's the end of the season soon, and that can make the price go a little volatile.
It didn't really last season. IMK was talking about that. You pulled your liquidity because you thought the price would be impacted, and it was like not at all after the season.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I'm gonna go to Wax on Edge to find the chart for this. So I want to see the Wombat Wax chart. Wombat Wax. And let's take a look at, I'm gonna go to the daily. So each candle is 1 day. Okay, we're actually seeing kind of like a leveled off price movement here for quite a while now. This is for multiple weeks. We've just kind of been hovering here. Let's also add some of these indicators, like the Bollinger Bands will help us see the general trend, and the on-balance volume will help us see money moving in or out. And then I also like the stochastic RSI. So I'm going to add all the same indicators I was looking at on my other chart. And then here we go. So let's take a look. So the SRSI is approaching overbought. Last time it approached the same, we also got it to dump off. The on-balance volume flatlining and moving down, as well as the price flatlining and moving down. And then you can see here make this smaller, the Bollinger Bands. The middle line is kind of what we usually look for. We want it to be support in an uptrend and resistance in a downtrend. And it very much is resistance right now. See how it's like acting as the line that's hard to pass? It's like being rejected, moving down. We're retesting it now and likely moving down. And we can see if I zoom even closer, balance volume moving. This is approaching overbought. This isn't looking in a way where I'm like, oh, I'm going to jump into this and like add a bunch of liquidity. I feel like at 80% APR, this isn't going to be the worst place for some of our wax. So I'm definitely keeping what we have in here. I might boost this up a little bit just to kind of spread it a little bit more into the higher yield section. So we have 41 wax bilaterally. So it's 82 wax total. I'd like to boost this to like an even 100 wax. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of liquidity from our dollar pool and move it into here. And instead of pulling it from the pool that's active, I'm gonna pull it from our kind of like Hail Mary, make us a giant bunch of money in case we spike pool, or not a bunch of money, but rather sell our wax for cash if we spike 680%. I think these types of spikes are really unlikely. And since we're just kind of using all of the funds here to generate more revenue, I think this is, it being out of range isn't the best use of our wax. So let's pull this wax. The other pool, I'm not like blown away by a 20% yield, but I still really like that pool, and I think our range was set correctly still, and it's still, kind of true to form right now. So we are still between 4 and 6.5 cents, and that's still very much kind of in line with what we're looking at here with this like range. So 4 is kind of the lower end of it. That gives us room, since we're retesting the middle part here, and we're looking to push, potentially up. 6.5 is all the way up here. If we do lose this support and push down, I have room all the way down to 4 in my pool. So that's great. I want to leave that room alone. And then all the way up to 6.5, I do believe I want to see full days closing above 6 before I, start thinking that we're going to be moving up more long-term. And so 6.5 gives me a little bit of room to catch some of these spikes. But as long as we're closing below it, I think this range is appropriate for what we have. So this pool I want to leave alone. If I refresh, the other pool should disappear. They both disappeared. There we go. Okay, so we should leave this one alone. So I have this one cooking still. It's basically a 50-50 split at the moment. And you can see we're right in the sweet spot here. We have room 22% down and 25% up. That's plenty of like buffer for the volatility we'll expect to see in the next week. So let's leave this one the way it is. 20%, like I said, isn't like super crazy, but it's also nothing to scoff at. It's 20% on, Wax, and one of the main, I would say at this point, the main stable coin on the Wax blockchain as far as volume goes. If we look at the analytics, you can actually see it's the second most active pool, and it'll be a cold day in hell before you find another stable coin on this list, unless we start going pretty far down the list. So you can see here USDT and Loot, and that's still the same stable coin. We're not even looking at Wax USDT yet. So there is there is Wax wrapped. Here you go. This is the first Wax USDT pool. It's the 32nd most active pool on here, and it's seeing a daily volume of $23 today, with a week of a little under $500. Compare that to today's volume of 1,500 on just the Wax USD pool. This is definitely the deepest liquidity and most active stablecoin pool. Also, this USDT is bridgeable back to EOS, where you receive native USDT. So this also has access to deep liquidity over on EOS. And since I'm talking about it, the OTC, the bridge, got an update recently, where now we can OTC, sorry, this is the bridge itself got an update where now we can see the trade history of our wallet, which is kind of cool. If we go here, and then down here we'll see the history. We haven't done a trade since this update happened, so we don't actually see it, but in the future, any trade we have, we'll actually see the data of it, moving back and forth down here. So last week we did like an arbitrage move where we moved, I think it was like 35 Wax over, and we ended up with like 35.5 Wax back. We would see that down here moving forward. Of course, we did it before that, but nice to see continuing updates happening. Definitely still a big fan of this. But now I want to see, I wanted to bring my Wax Wombat pool up to 100 Wax total. So that 8.5 Wax or whatever I have here should get me to close to 50. And then let's see, what do I need as the counterpart for that? So if I use 8.5 Wax, I need 208. I have 64. So let's say like I need 150 more Wombat tokens. And so what I'm going to do is source 10 more Wax out of my liquidity pool. So to do that, I'm going to go to the pool. First, I'm going to check wallet and see if I have anywhere else I can pull that Wax from. You can see I actually have some USDT. I have a couple of stable coins in here. I also Honey. I think I still have my one Honey staked. Let's go NFT Hive and see if we can claim some yield from that. So I'm going to, log out of this wallet and log into our DeFi wallet over on NFT Hive. Staking Honey tokens gives us a cut of the secondary market along with the drop markets. So every time a drop happens on NFT Hive, a portion of the drop fees come to us as Honey stakers. Every time somebody buys or sells an asset on the secondary market, a portion of that 2% fee comes to us as Honey stakers as well. So we click on wallet once we're signed into our account, and then here we can see we have our staked balance, and then here is our reward. So we have almost 0.05 Wax from just one. This is not bad. We already made back the Wax from staking that it took to buy the Honey. So this is all just profit at this point. This is not a crazy amount. I don't know if this is worth like claiming, so I'll just let that ride. I just wanted to check on it, honestly. But what we can do is take some of this USDT and use it to buy some Wombat. So I'm going to check really quick on this swap to see what I'm getting, because I'm not 100% sure that I don't think that Wax on Edge includes this pools yet. so we can see if we're going to get a better deal here or there. So 11.65 is giving us 55.54. And then we're going to try the same thing over here on wax on edge. And we're doing that like so. Well, I guess I have to type it in. USDT. There it is. And let's see. 52 is what I'm getting here. And it is moving USDT into Rug. Nice. And into Aqua. And then into Wombat. So this is the best route on Taco Swap right now for USDT. And clearly our better option is going to be on Alcor. So I'm going to stick to Alcor and we're going to actually do the swap. And now I only needed about 100 more Wombat tokens. So 100 more, that's like 5, let's say 6 wax. So the way that I'm going to source the remaining wax that I still need is by removing it from my active liquidity pool. First things I could do is just claim the fees here since we didn't claim those yet. And they don't automatically claim if I reduce the pool slightly. I'd have to actually withdraw 100% of the liquidity for it to also claim the fees. So I'll just manually claim them. I just did. So I can refresh here and we'll see that those are now 0. Well, they will be in a minute. And then I want about 10 wax. So I'm going to remove liquidity up until I get close to 10 wax. So that's going to be around here for me, where you can see 4.5 is 24 cents, and I'm going to be getting 26 cents back on the USDT side. So there we go. Oh, actually, this remove actually might have claimed the fees too. So I think anytime you remove any amount of liquidity, you can claim the fees as well. Let's see. It gave me an error. I'm just going to resubmit the same transaction again. Most of the time when I get errors on Alcor, I can just send the same transaction again and it works. And that's the case this time too. So no big deal. But if there was more of an issue, we could have explored and figured out what was going on. All right, let's see. So now, there we go. Now I can double check back over here. And if I wanted to add, so I want to add like, we have 41.2. So I want to add like 8.8 wax. 8.8 wax. I need 216. So I need 100 more Wombat token. And now what I can do is take a look here to see what kind of a deal I can get on Wombat tokens using my USDT. And if it's not what I want, I can check something else. So check this out. 27.18 gets me 129.59 Wombat token. And you can see that the path it's taking is first it's getting me wax and then it's buying wax into Wombat. This wax into Wombat step might have a better deal on Taco Swap. So what I'm going to do just to check is do just USDT into wax. So manually basically set it to just the first step. So now I'm only doing this. I would receive 5.28. I'm going to copy that and then take a look and see how much wax on edge can find me, how much Wombat wax on edge finds me for this price. So I get 129.56. And over here, I get 129.59. So this is actually a better deal. So I'm just going to stick around over here. But I only needed the 100 something. So let's just do 100. I'll wait for this to update. There it goes. So I'm swapping that now and to source my Wombat. And I may have a little bit of a remainder after this. Let's see. Message. Token. Wait, what does it say? Invalid token in or out. Okay, weird. So I'm just going to send the same thing again. I know these are valid tokens. I'm not trying to do some crazy shit here. This is Wombat and USDT. So it's giving me this next step. I'm just going to refresh. Refreshing this page. It should reload the same pools. I'm going to say now 0.21, 0.21, 100. Okay. Try that again. Again, sometimes Alcor does kick up issues like that. And this time, yeah, the refresh was all it took. So now you see I have 218 of these. I do still have a little bit of USDT, but I should have enough to now top off this pool to get me up to 100 wax even inside here. So I'm going to toggle like that. There we go. 8.8 is what I was hoping to get. That's perfect. And we're going to say open app and deposit. Sign that transaction. Done. And there we go. 50.07. So this is going to be easy for us to also remember. We had about 100 wax bilaterally. So in the next week when we check on this, we'll be able to see how the performance of the Wombat token has affected our total liquidity, as well as what we've earned in yield. So now if I go back to the meal pool, we can see here, if I click on my little name, I should be earning 5 Wombat per day on my 100 wax worth of liquidity. So I'm going to leave that one alone. And then let's just double back really quick and take a look at what we have left in the wallet after we've done this. So it looks like we have about 4 wax, a little bit of wax USDT, and a little bit of so these are almost even. Look at this, 6 cents of both. And since it's so cheap to do these types of things on wax, I might just buy, let's say, I'll split this 4.6 wax into both of these and then add these two into a liquidity pool. Because we did see that a second ago on the analytics page, that the most active wax USDT pool here, wax USDT, is the wax USDT and USDT pool, I believe. Or maybe it is the wax and wax USDT pool, but I saw, here it is. So this pool also sees decent volume, and these are both dollars. So I don't know. I don't mind this one. I feel like if we're unsure about the price movement of wax, or if we're already sufficiently exposed to wax, which I would say it's the latter for our position, since we do have, about $9 or like, what is this? Almost 160 wax worth of liquidity exposed to this pool already. That I think the rest of what we have, we maybe should consider putting into a stable coin pool. And so that's what I will do with the remainder here. So I'm going to take half of my existing wax here. So that'll be 2.33. I'm going to buy into USDT with this half. And then the other half, so I'll say swap, that's 23 cents. Not bad. Swap and signed. And it's giving me errors again. I'm going to refresh. For some reason, it doesn't like when I keep toggling back and forth between these slots. But again, so far, doing a refresh has solved it every single time. It's a little lame, but whatever. We do what we can. So here we go. And let's take a look at the route. It's a straight trade through that pool. Not bad. Sign manually. We'll sign this transaction again. Luckily, we're on wax, so all these transactions that are failing aren't costing me anything. And then next, I'm going to use wax USDT, wax, for the remainder of our wax position. So the last 2.33, we're putting into wax USDT. You can see this is actually giving me 18 cents. That says it's worth 17. And let's see the route. Straight. Oh, no, not straight. Look at this. We're going wax into neon, neon into USDC, and USDC into USDT to get the best deal here. So, hey, neon token is part of this route, even though as a trader, all we're doing is wax into USDT. So that's pretty cool. I support those pools quite a bit, is probably why they have deep liquidity. Those are mostly my liquidity pools. But great. So now I have both of those tokens. I'm going to go to the pool. I'm going to create a new liquidity pool that consists of USDT and wax USDT. So I'll have to find that one, wax USDT. like this. We're going to take a look at, let's say like 5 and 5%. So if we do plus 5%, this is going to create a position around the current spot price. And we can actually take a look at what that spot price is. It looks like right now 93.7 cents of USDT gets you 1 full USDC. So let's supply liquidity between, if we're just doing 5% on both sides, that should require basically even amounts. So you can see here, if I supply this is almost everything that I have. And that's good with me. These are stable coins, so I actually don't really care what side I end up on. Although realistically, I prefer to end up on the USDT, not the Wax USDT side, because the Wax USDT bridge has a fee to move the stuff back to ETH mainnet, and ETH mainnet is fucking expensive. But there we go. I've signed that transaction, and now when I refresh here, we should see the remainder of our position. There it is. So we're in range. We should be earning a little bit of stablecoin on this. We're exposed only to stablecoin in this pool, and we still have a pretty good chunk of our liquidity cooking in the USDT Wax pool, as well as we've actually increased some of our liquidity on the Wombat Wax pool so that we can get this 80% exposure. There's still 42 days left of this. And like KY said, last time the end of the season didn't really affect the price action so much. So I think this time I'm willing to roll the dice. Part of that is also influenced by looking at the charts here and seeing that we've been kind of flat for a while. And honestly, flat price movement is perfect for me because I don't need to make money in our liquidity pool. Like, we don't need this value to go up. We just need the value of Wombat token to stay the same so we can start earning 5% or 5 whatever each time here. And you can actually see we're down a little bit from having 50 initially. So, Wombat token is selling off a little bit. And we're reasonably well hedged. So we didn't ape everything we have into this pool. We actually keep most of our funds currently in the Wax USDT pool. But this APR is pretty lucrative, and this token is well established and well enough, like, is created by a team that I trust enough to want to participate at these APR rates. So let's do that. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and just see if there's other options that we maybe are missing out on. 87 is pretty high, but I don't know what BLKHL is. Terraformers. That sounds like a game asset. I'm not too familiar with that, but 87% isn't enough of a boost over the 80 that I'm already getting for me to actually go do a bunch of research on this. So far, not swaying me just yet. 900% might get me to do research though. And then here we have, let's see, 900%, relatively deep liquidity too. Actually, look at this. So 13,000 Wax. We got a decent amount of time left on this. This one is intriguing. I don't actually know anything about this. B-Wax market. Interesting, but 900 is really attractive. So, as kind of an additional thing to what we've done now, let's add like 10 Wax to this pool. This pool. 10 Wax at 900% APR. We can afford to do a little bit more of a higher risk thing. We have quite a bit of profit still from this wallet doing this exact type of thing. And we don't want to be, 100%. Oh, you know what? What we actually should have is our CMW. So I believe we moved our CMW liquidity to DeFi box. If I go to my... Yeah, CMW Wax. So we actually still have this. Look at this. Almost forgot about this. So if I go to liquidity on the swap tab, click liquidity, and then scroll down, you can see what we have in this pool. And it looks like we have, let's see, currently about 20 Wax. And 20 Wax, so bilaterally. And let's take a look at the market. How is CMW printing for us? 68%. So Wombat is actually doing better than this. And let's take a look at the price action. Isn't Yeah, isn't crazy favorable here. So we're looking at the 1 day. It's also been a little bit flat-lying. It's kind of similar to Wombat, maybe a more aggressive dump here. Not an absurd amount of volume though. I like what CMW is building, but man, 900% versus this one, I'm mostly in for the yield, and the other yield is going to be way higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to migrate the CMW pool into that new pool at 900%, and let's see how we do. We have 40 wax available to do this type of thing, so let's try it. I'm going to click reduce liquidity here and do 100% of this. So that's going to get me back the wax and the CMW token. And I'm also going to claim my CMW earnings from having farmed this pool. So first I want to remove the liquidity so that once I claim the earnings, there isn't new earnings adding into the balance, because I get like OCD about having a fraction amount of dust that I can't claim. So we got a successful claim here. And then up here, these 3 lines, I want to say mining. And then here I should see my rewards from the previous week. There we go. We made 10 CMW. So I'm going to claim those as well. Now, CMW trades on both Taco Swap and DeFi Box, and both of those dexes are covered by the aggregator at Wax on Edge. So now that I've claimed those, I don't actually need to check what I can swap these for here. I can just do all that on Wax on Edge, because I know for a fact that those liquidity pools are going to be deeper than what is on Alcor. So I'm going to start by doing CMW. Here we go. And then there we go. And now you can see I'm going to get 22 wax for that. So not bad. It looks like 2 of that wax is going to be from, or let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like it's all going through the same pool that we're just coming from. So it's all going on DeFi Box. We'll do that swap. So now we should have 42 wax around. And we can use that to farm this crazy B pool token. And honestly, kind of expect to get owned. Like I feel like we're gonna get rocked. But let's do it anyway. This is definitely higher risk. So let's see. The pool is here. I can just do highest APR B, and I'm curious to see the chart for B token. I like that Wax on Edge is going to show me these charts. Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay. So you can see B token very recently launched, kind of an aggressive climb so far. Expect this to retrace and dump, but it's 43 wax, 44 wax. I'm willing to kind of like test the waters with this. So I'm going to do 21 wax. It's going to find me the best route, which is, this swap pool. And we'll do a 42 wax kind of liquidity position, and we'll see how it does over the next week. 900% is very attractive, but again, it also represents the inflation rate of B token. So as people claim their rewards, they're going to be dumping those rewards to turn them into wax. And since we won't be doing that until a week from now, we're going to have a whole week of people dumping into our liquidity before it's our turn to take profit. So keeping that in mind, I am expecting to not do incredibly well, but let's see how it does. So I'm going to add here 21 wax kind of on both sides. So that's going to be 42 wax total. We'll add this liquidity. It is added, and then now we can actually take a look and see how this liquidity is distributed. It looks like 19% is held by one person. ISO CryptoBot. Okay. But not too bad. There's definitely a decent amount of like wallets in here, most of them with not much value at all. We're in the 24th slot. And like we just saw on Wax on Edge, this token's been around for, let's see if I set this to the daily chart, maybe a week. It's brand new, extremely high risk, but also quite high reward. So we are now expecting, 900% APR paid on our 42 wax, which if I do the quick math on that, let's do like quick napkin math here. We did 42 wax times, let's see, 9.43. So we'd be expecting 396.06 wax in a year if everything remains consistent right now. 365. So that's about 1.08 wax per day. So at the end of the week, we should be closing in on about 7 wax worth of profit on our 42, which 7 out of 42, so it's about 18% that we're looking to pull in rewards in 1 week of farming. And so if the value of B token falls more than 18% in the next 6 days, this will not end up with us seeing a profit. So with a token like this, 18% is not much. Looking at this, if we just like retrace back down to here, we're already 18% is gone. So chances are we're not going to see a huge amount of profit from this. And so don't ape into these pools expecting to, be able to make that kind of a yield. But it's been a long time on Wax since we've done an APR chase. And since there was an option for this, if we go to highest liquidity, since there was an option for doing such a high yield position in the top 12 deepest liquidity pools on Taco, and the counterpart asset is Wax, and the pool has 13,500 Wax already in it, I was relatively okay with risking 40 of our Wax for this as an experiment for the coming week. So let's see how this does. We'll check back on this next Tuesday and see see if we got wrecked or see how we did. But I definitely expect this position to hold up as a solid hedge. So if Wax starts to fall this week, we'll end up with much more Wax in this pool. And if Wax climbs, that's fine. We're exposed to, selling the Wax on the way up, which again, we're not convinced that the way up is a long-term move until we can start closing above 6 cents. So I don't mind selling on the way up and then buying back on the way down as long as we're ranging in this range. And so that's kind of the goal of this position. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Until then, I feel like I shouldn't get much deeper into tech otherwise.
No, I feel like an hour and 40. I sent you a link so you want to pull up the DAO.
Oh, yes. Yeah, is it in here? And
no, it's in Discord, so you don't have to show off the webcam infinity mirror.
There it is. All right.
So what I did is I ended up
oh hell yeah!
I ended up just taking the 2 votes that actually got the 2 stickers that got votes last time are now in the running again, which is Wash Your Cheeks and Marvel Mafia. But there's a Not Financial Advice that got 0 votes, so the lowest vote got eliminated, and then I added 2 fresh ones, which is Olive Garden and Fame Condensed.
I like to go for Fame Condensed with this one. Let's see.
So if I want to vote in what they look like, though.
Yeah, let's see here.
It's probably easier if you do the higher up ones, so you can actually copy paste it.
Yes. Okay, here. So this one has the first votes here. Let's take a look at this.
Then I also put in the description, there's the ability to release your RAM because it costs RAM for every NFT you vote with. If you're voting with hundreds of NFTs, it's kind of expensive. But in the description, there's instructions on how you release the RAM from our last vote. I give you the link to Wax Block and then the instructions on how to do so.
Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Okay, yeah, let's see. Contract actions. I'll show you how to navigate to this too, actually, because the link on its own might not actually open it to the contract page.
It does.
Which is kind of annoying in the past. It does?
Yep.
Oh, nice. It does. Contract actions. Yay. It's already
and then
there.
I also put descriptions on like what you should be entering in each, but user is your wallet ID.
Here, I'll claim mine from my last vote. I'm going to say log out. So if you're going to claim your Wax, what you want to do is log into your wallet. So if you haven't done that before, you say add account, choose the app you're logging in with, and then logging in. So I'm doing first.ftw. There we go. Signed that. All right. And so now user is first.ftw. The DAO is going to be the name of the DAO that we have, which is going to
just
be
neon space, one word.
Neon space. There it is in neon space. So coming back over here, neon space.
Proposal ID would be 0.
So that's our first one, 0.
And then max is how many NFTs you voted with. So just your total number of neon space NFTs in your wallet. You can also just put like 1,000. You can put over and it's fine. If you voted with less than 1,000, you should be good.
I definitely have less. I'll say 250.
But I believe it costs more CPU. Skip is how many. I don't even tell people to enter that. But skip is like if you don't have enough CPU, you did like 5,000 votes. Maybe do 0 for skip.
Oh, okay, I see.
But skip is like if you need to do multiple transactions because it costs too much CPU to do all of them, you can do from like 1 to 250, and then skip 250 would start on 251 to 500 or whatever. But it's not really. If you have enough CPU to push a transaction to vote, you should have enough to claim your RAM back.
Yeah, I have a decent amount on this wallet.
So that should have released your RAM if you go check the transaction.
It sure did. Let's see. So now I can check the transaction by just typing in first.ftw up here and seeing my recent transactions here. And then I can see that it has.
Might be in traces or RAM deltas. Release.
Yep, there it is. Release. So I got this RAM back.
6,960 bytes back in your wallet. So I recommend everybody does that. Otherwise, you're just going to have RAM locked up into these voting contracts forever.
And that's for every DAO.
I'm hoping to get a way to like have a one button you click on the same pages as you're voting and make it a little more streamlined. But this is still very like beta, so hopefully it becomes more streamlined. But you got to do that manually each time.
I'm voting for Fame Condensed this time. I have 29 NFTs in my wallet. So now, here we go. I'll sign this transaction. Now that RAM for this vote is now tied up again into this vote. So there we go. But now we can see if I refresh, I'm giving Wash Your Cheeks a run for its money. Oh, damn. Way more votes since we started. Well, I thought I'd be a bigger share of this than 4%, but somebody already voted 600 votes out to Wash Your Cheeks. That's definitely the second one I was voting for. But these are probably my top 2 favorites of these. The Marble Mafia is pretty fucking great. Make him an NFT. Can't refuse.
Link I just posted. Mono Sword just says, don't want to derail the conversation. This is when you're talking about tech stuff, but now it is what we're talking about. But y'all should work a fun spin on the I voted stickers in the next drop in celebration of the Wax DAO stuff. That would be fun.
Yeah, I like that too.
We probably won't do it for every vote. Otherwise, we're just going to be cranking out a ton of NFTs. But maybe after we do like 3 or 4 months of voting, we'll compile a list of all of the wallets that have voted on all the different ones, and then each person will get one. I would be down to do that, but I wouldn't think it's going to happen every single time, because we'll be doing these votes monthly. Like once a month, the first week of the month, we're going to do sticker votes, and then it takes 5 days for the votes, then we'll order them. So hopefully we get into more of a routine. So we have like the first week of every month, we'll have a vote and a drop for a sticker.
You got a slice. Yeah.
Which we also have.
There it is.
A form here, which is if you'd like to sign up for the VRL blend, where you can trade 2 neon blend tokens for 1 sticker. Let me post that in the chat. Yeah, we cover the shipping. So if you are able to qualify for this, which so far everybody's qualified that's entered, but we do only have 20 available because it costs money to make this stuff and we need to make money to keep making it. So we do have to sell some, and then we also have to pay for shipping. So we need to make money through the sales of the stickers to pay for shipping. But 20 are available for 2 neon blend tokens. And if you would like to enter for that, that's here. And that's for not this current artwork, but that's for Cut My Life into Pizza, which won the last vote. And this is a shine variant. So we'll also have, I don't know the exact number of shines we have, maybe like 10 or something, but each sticker you buy counts as a raffle ticket towards the shine, and that's only for the first weekend. So you have to buy them before Monday to qualify for the raffle, and then on Monday we will do the raffle and we will mail out the first batch.
But so if you bought one sticker and then you win the raffle, you end up getting 2 stickers. You get the one you bought and the shine is the free. So it's like an addition to whatever you scooped.
20 will be available for blend tokens, and you must fill out the form by August 4th, this Friday at 3:30 Pacific time, because that's when we're doing the sale. I guess maybe you'll have a little more leeway. You have until Monday, I'll say, because Monday's when we're doing the shipping. So if you have until Monday, except, I don't know, I like to decide who won them before the sale, so like, I don't know. It depends on if there's 20. If over 20 people reply, you have until Friday. If less than 20 people reply, and then you have until Monday. But I'd say be safe, filled out by Friday if you want to be for sure entered for the blend token redemption. Also, TD's building us a redemption protocol through the NFT Gamer TV website, which will be able to manually do what I've been doing, or automatically do what I've been doing manually, which is you have to send them to a wallet, and then I just DM you a claim code, which is super sketchy. I don't like DMing people stuff in the crypto space, because then, if people impersonate me, they could scam you. Although nothing I'm doing is asking for personal information. I'm giving you a code that you can go independently put into a website and verify. But still, we'd like it. It'd be cool when it's automated. Less work for me, and also just more professional and safer. Yeah, that'll be this Friday. I think I already said 60 are available for purchase, 20 for the blend token, and then we will have 20 we'll hold aside for future conventions, because we're going to try to start going to conventions in the future, and we need products to sell at the conventions. So if we sell everything on Shopify, we won't have anything. So we want to build up like a bit of an inventory and library of previous artwork, so we have some variety for new collectors. I also think it'd be cool if we I'm probably just on my own personal wallet going to buy a bunch of commons for anything we have stickers for, and then give people like wax free claim links. So anybody who buys a sticker that is not in the wax space will have an opportunity to get a free NFT with it, which doesn't work for our old artworks because we already sold them all, but we can just go buy them ourselves. Or I probably have duplicates of most of our artwork in my wallet, but
I have a few dupes for sure. But yeah, I might do that too. Take a note from Priscilla. People love that.
Monosword just says, I meant a pack drop in the future with other stuff. I'm not sure if I know what you mean by that. You mean just like a sticker that has to do with voting but isn't necessarily airdrop to people? That's just like a blend or in our next packs. So that would also be cool. I wouldn't mind rewarding people that participate in the DAO as well, though. So
same. I also like the idea of like a drop that's claimable by wallets who voted on the OIG elections and stuff like that. Those are cool. Cool whitelist.
Damn, Wash Your Cheeks is going hard.
That's the one.
I'm not sure if we showed all these.
That was like fucking awesome too.
Let me pull them all up just so we can show them off. Wash Your Cheeks almost won last time. It's definitely
I really like that one favorite. Too.
I like Olive Garden too, though. I might vote for Olive Garden.
Family.
Let's see. Which one didn't I do? Wash Your Cheeks.
That would be like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate crossover promotion. If they ever get Dom Toretto to do an ad for
music. So this is the Fame condensed. And these are the naked versions of the signs, because that's what will be turned in the sticker. There won't be card back artwork. Then we got Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. Dominic Toretto. Here's Wash Your Cheeks. This is one of our first Burn Street blends, very early one. Fame condensed is our most recent Burn Street.
It used to be Wash Your Ass.
Oh shit! How did I mess this up? Yeah, I censored it or asked us to censor it. At this point, I don't think it'd be an issue, but we were also a much newer brand, and like I didn't want to get blacklisted on our like second ever drop, or not blacklisted, but NSFW'd, and then our entire collection, every single NFT would not show up in the market, which is far less than ideal. How am I missing Fame Condensed, Olive Garden, Marble Mafia is the one I didn't do. What is going on here? Why won't it? Oh, it's because I have Mafia before it. And this one, I believe, would not be this. It'd be this. Because there's two different artworks on this. But I don't think it would be the... I'm going to make him an NFT. You can't refuse. I think it'd be just Marble Mafia.
Maybe the Shine variant will be the other one. That'd
be cool. Yeah, I think this would be the main one. And this one is because we used to stream marbles pretty much every day for a while we were doing it for 7 days a week, and then we scaled down. But for multiple years, we did marbles at least 3 times a week. That's how we distributed all of our prizes. But we've since moved on to Grubfish. But the glory days of marbles, this is commemorating that.
Yeah, the Ether used to flow like wine.
That's also how we started. We used to give away like several 100,000 Ether to each person who won, and that was when Ether was worth like a lot. Like people were.
That was like $10 or more per person per marble win for sure. It was a big fucking win.
We donated a bunch of our rigs to a wallet, and then just all of the Ether claimed from that wallet would be given out to people in our community. We did that for a long time, and then Ether started becoming like pretty much worthless, and then we moved on to giving away more NFTs than Ether directly. But yeah, that was April through July of 2021. Is that right? Like that's forever ago, but
it was a long time ago.
Oh, and also somebody said we were part of the Marble Mafia because we did that. So it's an inside joke from our stream where not somebody, Physics, we know who it was. He's since joined our community and then got banned from our community because he was saying all sorts of toxic shit in our general chat. But shout out to Physics, sort of. Thanks for the inspiration from your crazy conspiracy theory, but also please be nicer to people in Wax because we don't tolerate bullying and harassing people in our chat.
Rigs. Yeah, there used to be mining rigs. I think we were doing like 300,000 Ether per day in the giveaway wallet. It was quite a bit.
All right. Let's do a giveaway before we land this plane. Exclamation point Neon if you'd like to join the giveaway.
When's the next Funko drop?
I mean, they're like every other week pretty much. I haven't looked.
So Stranger Things was doing pretty well.
Stranger Things did really well. The one of the, I think it was Hasbro or Hanna-Barbera, not Hasbro. That set just went on like the digital discount the other day, where it's like the redemption period started, so everybody dumped the prices. So if you're interested in digital discounts, that one just dropped.
I have to do that.
Well, let me check the drops server. It's gotten buried. I get joined too many Discords. Yeah, they do like 2 drops a month, so there should be another one. Hanna-Barbera redemption started 5 days ago.
Oh, okay. This is a sweet spot for the digitals right now. I might have to hit a Pop in Stocks website, take a look.
I don't see any announcements for new drops in their Discord. So I don't know what the next one is. It's been a couple weeks too. I feel like they should. The last one is on the 14th. Today. So we're due for one. Oops. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing.
Let me check some of these crazy fucking, like, what is it? The thing I was showing off on that base chain. I'm pretty sure it's. Let's see if I've gotten rug pulled already.
Also, my fun fact for Cut My Life into Pizza is Papa Roach reached out to us about that. Like the actual Papa Roach, like official channel reached out to us, and we were like, "Fuck, are they gonna like sue us on our first drop?" But they were like, "We're interested in getting NFTs and would like to consult with you guys." And then they never followed up on that, but it's still crazy that like somehow our weird indie art project on Wax reached Papa Roach in any sort of sense. Like that's fucking crazy to me.
I love that.
I think it was like it must have been like their social media manager or something. Like I don't think the band was even aware of it. I think like their social media or like marketing people were like, "Oh, we can capitalize on this."
I think what happened is like they have multiple social media people, and one of them was actually into NFTs, and that person reached out to us. And then when we followed up, we got to someone else, and they were like, "We don't care about this." And it's like, "Oh, you reached out to us."
We also like, I don't know.
I don't think it was Mr. Roach.
We weren't that enthusiastic about it because like, one, we were afraid they were gonna like try to like cease and desist us or some shit, which is not possible to get rid of that artwork on the blockchain once it's out there. It's just like that's it's out there. We could blacklist it on Atomica, but we couldn't actually get it back from people's wallets.
Mr. Roach himself.
That and like, I don't know, we would have been consulting them for free how to make money on their shit. I don't think they were like trying to offer us money or anything. So as far as like, we weren't that interested in either having them like.
We were basically like, we'll talk with Mr. Roach, only Mr. Roach himself. It's like, we'll talk, but you got to have Mr. Roach. You got to have Papa come to the table.
Music video all the time on MTV and VH1. I believe they played it a lot on Headbangers Ball. If anybody used to watch that.
Headbangers, dude, what the fuck? That's a throwback, dude. What? I would not have remembered the name of that shit on the top of my head, but right when you said it was like Headbangers Ball, damn, dude, what?
It must not have. It says it ended in 1995.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a crazy throwback, dude.
I was 5 years old when that happened, so I must have been seeing like replays of it when I saw that.
Those are reruns of Headbangers Ball, maybe.
But Headbangers Ball was like the more like metal oriented music video playing, but I watched a lot of like TRL and like the channel I always talk about was The Box. The Box was channel 99 in Washington, and The Box was a 24-hour a day like pay request where you could just request any music video and eventually it would just come on. But I used to watch that like with my brother for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. We'd just like have it always on in the background. And because people could request anything, it wasn't necessarily like TRL where like only the most popular songs are being played each week. Like weird shit would get played that like anybody who paid money for any music video could get it played. So I feel like it was almost like Jack FM where like the music was just like you'd have Britney Spears and then Eminem and then like Papa Roach like in a row, and it's just like this music has nothing to do with each other, but it's very formative for me. I wonder if I can find information on that. The Box music video request. Here it is. The Box, originally named Video Jukebox Network, was an American broadcast cable and satellite television network that operated from 1985 to 2001. The network focused on music videos, which through a change in format in the early 1990s were selected by viewer requests via telephone. As such, unlike competing networks such as MTV and VH1, the videos were not on a set rotation, which is what I was saying, where it's like it was all just...
Oh, man, we're all so old. I also listened to The Box before school. It was totally like the thing you'd put on the TV when you're getting ready for school in the morning.
I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say it's channel 99 in Washington State. It was like in the 90s, because remember, it's like there was nothing on TV for like 30 channels, and that was the only one that showed up when you got that high.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what cable package you had.
We didn't have cable. That was just like antenna.
Viva TV. I remember I saw the fucking Headbangers stuff in Germany on MTV. Although you know what MTV and what German television used to have as commercials, like exclusively in like the 90s and early 2000s, like literally every single commercial that I saw when I was watching TV in Germany was about custom ringtones. They'd be like, get your custom ringtone, like here, it's like every fucking commercial was about how to text this number to get custom ringtones on your phone. Germans loved it.
Let's see, Monosuerte, I believe this was, sent us Fame Condensed. We can give this Fame Condensed away since it's one of the potential votes on our on our Wax DAO. I feel like it's relevant. Only 29 votes for Max, but this is a rare one. Like only 60. We've way lowered our mints of the Burn Street stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
And if you look, the Glow is now 30 max mint, and 3 of them have been burns. There's only 27, and then there's only 15 of the neons, and then there's 5 of the naked, and then 1 of the shine. So that's our new mint structure for our blends.
I got one of the nakeds. I had to go hard to get that one though. That shine took for fucking ever, I think, to get pulled.
And also, if you win this, you can turn it into a neon blend token, and then you're halfway to getting a physical sticker because you need 2 neon blend tokens. So
that's true.
1/2 of a sticker.
Oh shit! The US dollar pool and Ethereum pool is live on the farm. I'll be right back. I gotta go drop some money into this day 0 pool. Every second counts when the APRs are this high.
We're also about to wrap this up. We're gonna do this giveaway and call it. I gotta friggin' eat. Pretty much just woke up and then immediately hopped on stream. I was up until like 7 a.m. playing Overwatch last night, getting super pissed off. I don't know why I keep playing Mystery Heroes Ranked. It pisses me off so badly. If you win Monosorte, we'll send you something different. But we'll get there when we get there. You have to win first, and then we'll figure out what your prize is. All right, last call. If you'd like to join !Neon. Thanks for hanging, everybody. I know this stream can get pretty technical. Pretty easy to get. Got to mute Max's mic. I'll just remove him. Easy to get bogged down into it all, but this Thursday we'll be doing more NFT related stuff and more fun stuff. We do our off the rails videos where we play kind of like bizarre viral videos and then comment on them. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're horrifying, but usually it's a great time. It's one of my favorite days of the week. I look forward to off the rails. So that's sort of what I do in my free time, is watch weird shit on the internet. So getting to share that with the community is fantastic. If you have any videos you want us to look at, if you post them in the Discord, I'll add them to the list. As you don't watch them until the day of, so I like to have my reactions fresh to them. What else has been going on? I've been watching Vanderpump Rules, and I kind of fucking hate it, but I'm still watching it for whatever reason. It's a reality TV show. It's about like a Hollywood restaurant, but like every employee there is just like a complete dirtbag and like horrible human beings. And yeah, it's super reality, but there's some new drama. Don't spoil it for me if you've been watching, but season 10 apparently had some of the biggest drama, like juicy drama from any reality series in history. Everybody's talking about it, but I was reading, they're like, if you want to know what happens in season 10, you got to watch like the previous 10 seasons to know like the characters that are building up to that. So I'm trying to start from the beginning, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I can even make it to season 10. I have not seen the trailer for Deep Fake Love, but I will add that to our Off the Rails. I've also been watching Naked and Afraid. I'm a huge fan of that show right now. Mark and I are a big fan of like Alone, which is a survival show. And I sort of stayed away from Naked and Afraid because I thought it'd be very much like Survivor, I guess, which I ended up watching like most of Survivor too. So I'm a junkie for reality TV these days, but Naked and Afraid is much more like legitimate survivalist than Survivor. Like those people are hardcore. There's no prize money. They're doing it just for like to prove they can, and they're all a bunch of fucking nutters. But Naked and Afraid's fun. I've been watching Naked and Afraid XL. I don't mess around with the 21-day competition, which is a normal one. Naked and Afraid XL, they have to go for 40 days, so it's like double the length over a full month. And it's pretty much only people that have survived the first one, the 21-day one. So I feel like it's like the best of the best, which is what I enjoy. All right, let's run this. Oh, and also we're supposed to check out, I told somebody we'd check out his collection on Thursday. He sent us some stuff to give away. That is, of course, Discord's broken, so I can't see the person's username right now. I think it was like Mike420, maybe. And I can probably deduce what his collection is just from looking at our giveaway wallets. It's got to be this, the Cozy Capybara. And these are some sort of blend thing. He said he wanted me to blend it on stream and then show off the collection. Which I know nothing about this, but maybe it's Mike 120, not 420. It's somebody Mike, but I don't know. He's been watching our streams for a while, and I don't really know much about the collection, but if people want to send us stuff to give away, I'm happy to look at it. Not necessarily an endorsement, but happy to help indie creators and people who are part of the Wax community. And somebody sent us a virtual dream. Wow, this one's listed for $13. Who's paying that? Somebody minted this in our wallet? This wasn't even like I thought somebody sent this to us. Do we have virtual? Like, I thought we gave away all our virtual stream stuff. How are we getting airdrops? Nope, I guess we still have this VIP thing that gives us airdrops. Honestly, have not paid attention to Virtual Dream in a long time. We did do collabs a long time ago. We got Min 69 and Neon City. I feel like Virtual Dream was very like early to the AI stuff, but now AI stuff is so common. It's like less unique. It's like there's tons of people pumping out AI artwork. Anyway, let's simulate this grubfish. And then, yeah, on Friday, we have our next sticker drop. So if you like to cut my life into pizza artwork, it's $3. We cover shipping. We'll ship it anywhere in the world for $3 for the sticker and shipping. Or you can try to enter with blend tokens to get a VIRL, which we also cover shipping for. And if you need any help sourcing Neon Blend tokens, just let me know. There's like 3 different ways you can get Neon Blend tokens. You can buy them directly in the aftermarket. You can buy the Neon FT on DeFi Box or Alcor and then swap that through tokenized NFT. Or you can blend your actual artwork into the Neon Blend token. So multiple ways to get it. Usually the cheapest is the FT version. It's a little more complicated, so less people do it. But I'm happy to walk you through it if anybody's trying to source some blend tokens for the VRL. The other thing is you can enter the forum because only 20 people will get selected for the VRL redemption. But you can enter the forum and then decide after you get selected to buy the blend tokens. So don't feel required to get the blend tokens. And then if you miss out and don't be one of the 20 people selected, you're stuck with the blend tokens. Although we will always have future opportunities, but feel free to enter the forum. And then if you get selected, you can figure out how to source your own blend tokens. Congrats to Twalter. Lived through the very end. I will send you that prize immediately. Got to open my other browser. I'm excited. Stickers are always fun. We're starting to get like an actual catalog of stickers. We have a couple of them now. So hopefully within the next 6 to 12 months, we can start going to conventions and meeting people IRL. I'm always jealous of looks like a lot of fun when Sune and Priscilla and Valor Vellum go, and she met up with Cia Soli and Crispy and Yamster at the San Diego Comic-Con. So hopefully we can start doing that stuff. I also would like to, expand our audience besides just Wax users and hopefully onboard people into Wax from the physical space would be nice. Do our work. There's not enough new people finding Wax, so hopefully we can help be involved in that.
Yeah. Fuck, that new blockchain is expensive. It's like 80 cents to do a transaction.
Ether is pretty
really makes me appreciate Wax. Yeah, it makes me appreciate Wax. Free is free.
I also figured out yesterday that like as much shit as I've talked about Uphold, it's like probably the best option for cashing out of crypto. I sent my
honestly, it's pretty solid.
I sent my DAI to Gemini. Let's refresh this and make sure it's in the right wallets. Owner should be SSURE. There it is. But yeah, I sent my Gemini, or I sent my DAI stablecoin to Gemini. I tried to sell it, and they wanted like a $30 cut from it from a $2,000 trade. I was like,
what?
I was like, no, thank you. So then I paid the withdrawal fee because it's no longer free to withdraw for Gemini for $1.50, and I sent it over to Uphold, and Uphold was giving me like 1,993, and that's only because there was a spread. But if I put in the limit order and I had 1,998 left after the gas fee, if that limit order triggers, I get 1,998 for that, and it's free to withdraw to my bank account. So completely feeless trading on Uphold.
Damn. I think did you try the limit order way on Gemini? Because you can do that as well.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. And they're still taking $30 from it.
$30? Jesus
It wasn't
Christ.
slippage. That's how much they take. It's like a 0.01 or it's 0.01%. I think they say they take of stablecoin trades.
0.01 shouldn't be $30 of 2,000.
It's still $30. I don't know. I would have to. I didn't read I was like trying to read it, but I don't know.
That sounds like a
Gemini
lot.
used to be my favorite exchange, but I'm pretty close to just being like, I'm not going to use Gemini anymore. Like, costs money to withdraw, and they take fees of all your trades, which is like the only reason I was using it in the first place is because it's free to withdraw Ether from there. But yeah, Uphold's a kind of sketchy interface. I don't know if I'd trust leaving my money there, but if I'm just moving it out of a token into my bank account, I feel like it's a better option at this point.
That's actually not a bad point. Yeah. Huh. Uphold.
Since it looks like we have a few more people
myth on there
watching, we have this sticker available on Friday at 3:00 p.m. If you'd like to try to enter to not win, but be able to qualify to get one for blending 2 Neon Blend tokens, this is the form. 20 people will be selected from the form. And then also we have a DAO open, or a DAO proposal open. If you'd like to try to vote for our next sticker, which will be released in September, first week of September probably. We have four options, and every single neon space in your wallet counts as one vote. And the prize we just sent out, which is the Fame Condensed, is one of the options that we could be turning into physical stickers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see if we can refresh if any more people voted.
I voted for that one. But I think Wash Your Cheeks is pulling ahead.
And 95% of the votes, 600. And then also I put in I wish I could space this better. Can we edit this? I wonder. I don't like how this is all one line.
I think so. I think it can still be edited.
I'm also notice how we say September 2023 on this. That's because we plan on being around in September 2024. So labeling our stuff appropriately because we've already been around for 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
It's been a while. Still here, still selling fake doors. Won't open.
I don't know how to edit this, but
won't open.
If you voted on the last one, you have RAM just living in a smart contract. So if you go to this, Max showed it earlier, but we have some new people watching. If you go to this wax block thing and then type in your wallet, the Neon Space DAO, proposal ID 0, and then how many NFTs you voted with, then you will have your RAM released. So then you can use your RAM again on this new vote. And not 100% is released, but a very large portion of the RAM is released. So it's not super expensive to vote, but it is expensive if you vote with like somebody probably voted with like 500 NFTs there. And like you're definitely going to release that RAM or it's pretty spendy.
Yeah, especially if you start doing it from multiple votes. And this isn't just a thing for our DAO. This is any DAO that you're doing these votes on. You should, after the vote concludes, you should submit this type of transaction to release all your RAM.
I guess just to show it off, this is where we'll be selling our stickers on Friday.
You got it. Real fake doors.
Which is our Shopify. And these are fiat purchases. Our first 2 stickers sold out, but we actually still have some live dudes. So if you didn't catch this drop, the raffle for the shinies is no longer available, but you could buy this along with the new drop and then we could ship them together. Or you can just get the new one. And it won't show up. It doesn't even have like a counter or anything. So you will not see the Cut My Life into Pizza sticker show up until Friday at like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I'll also do a everyone tag in our Discord. So if you want to be around when that goes live, which we generally give out the mints in order people buy them. So if you buy the very first one, you get mint number 1. And also they all are hand signed and hand numbered by our artist Paul. So they're all hand signed and numbered. And we say 100, but they usually ship us around like 110. But like we order 100 and then we will not make any more of these stickers. So these are all very limited runs. And once they're gone, and we won't be making them again.
Yeah, and they'll be numbered too, so you got the little bit of hand touch.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It was nice for me to raid into.
Yeah, good shit. I loved what was going on, but yeah, let's keep an eye on this crypto market. Still developing. The fucking stock market is full of short squeeze opportunities right now. I might be excited tomorrow morning at like 6:30 in the morning when I check on my call option for ELF, because after hours trading just exploded because they outperformed their projections for the earnings call by 90%. Which is perfect for me having call options.
All right, we're going to raid into Jungle Pry. Not sure what he's doing, such as chatting, but he usually does grubfish giveaways. He's got a cool thing where like he and Sully did a collab, and they have like a collector leaderboard. So whoever like collects the most gets points. And I don't know, that's fun. It'd be cool to build something like that for Neon Space.
Cool. Right? I like that.
I think they might reward like the top team, because there's like teams of 4 or something. Like you can pair with other people. The top team ends up getting like a rare 1 of 1 or something. So it's like a way to reward collectors. Cool. But
that'd be cool. Although our top team would be like KY is his own team.
For the new, it's like for that specific set, not for all the NFTs in the collection.
Okay, nice.
Anyway, raiding Jungle Pry, Infinity Mirror. See you all on Thursday. We'll be doing Off the Rails, and we will be checking out a community members collection. I think it's Mike 120.
Oh, hell yeah.
Should be fun.
I also ripped my Buzz Kings, the rider packs for the corgis went live. I bought a few packs and ripped those. I think I'm missing one of the mythics still, but
show that off. We have some of those to give away too on I think I have some of my personal wallet that I'll send to our giveaway, since we already gave some of those away. But yeah, see you all on Thursday. Yeah. Hit me up in Discord if you want to chat or have any questions about our sticker stuff. Otherwise, have a great week, everybody.
Yeah, good hanging, guys. See you next time.
Let's end.